Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. This is the home of beating Vegas to a pulp. Just an announcement before we get to the over-unders. I will be live Friday, 4:30, 5 p.m. Eastern in that time slot. Leave your questions. Come on, join the show if you want. We'll be doing that Friday afternoon. Let's get to the over-unders. First game, we got Green Bay at the San Francisco 49ers, over under 48.5, and I'm going under. This is going to be a sloppy game. I hope some of you got in the early bets because I know some of you love early betting. On Tuesday, I told you Green Bay to win in a cover when it was -3. Now it's all the way up to -7. This is going to be a sloppy game. Both teams aren't going to be at their best. That's why I'm betting the under. Next game, Seattle at the Buffalo Bills, over under 55, and I'm going with the surprise under. And I know you're saying, Lawson, you've been telling us this Bills defense, they are vulnerable. And we all know the Seattle Seahawks have a vulnerable defense. But when I'm looking at this game, I think it's going to be a playoff-type atmosphere. I do think the Bills will get stops, but I also think the Seahawks defense will get stops, and they will get turnovers. So I know we all think Russell Wilson is going to explode here, and he is Russell America Wilson for a reason because he is phenomenal, and he is competing with Brady for this MVP. But I think this has more of a playoff-type feel. I'm not saying the Bills are going to win this by any means, but I think this is a close game. I don't think it turns into a shootout. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Atlanta Falcons, over under 50. I'm feeling pretty good about this under. And if Denver wants to win this game, this has to be under. Their defense has to show up. Their defense has to play good situational football. And I think their defense will play good within the red zone. Atlanta's going to put up the yards. On this Atlanta defense, they're not great at stopping anyone, but this is Drew Lock. This is the Broncos. And yes, we've won a lot of money on the Broncos, but let's stay calm. And this isn't a great team yet. So I'm going under. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears, the Bears at the Tennessee Titans, over under 46.5. I got this going with a surprise over. And I know, Lawson, you're saying, okay, Lawson, damn, this offensive line of the Bears, they can't block. I know, it is troublesome. I think Nagy will get creative. I think they'll start working in more quick passing. They better. Jadeveon Clowney, he might play or he might not play. I think that will help Foles. But this Tennessee defense, they give up too many big plays. And one thing Foles does effectively is he takes deep shots. And that's one thing this Tennessee team gives up year in and year out under Vrabel. So it is a bit of a concern. And when I'm looking at this Bears defense, they talk a lot and they look good on paper. But in reality, Tennessee's going to be able to move the ball against them, and Tennessee's going to put up points. So I'm going over here. I'm pretty damn sure about it. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings, over under 52.5. I'm seeing some lines at 50.5, but let's go 52. I got this going over because I think this does turn into a mini shootout. I'm not saying it's going to be like 35-32 or anything crazy like this, but I do think this game takes off in the second half. And Minnesota can't rush the passer. They can't cover anyone, so that's going to be a concern. Matt Stafford, it looks like he will play. Just monitor that situation. And then when you look at Dalvin Cook, I think Dalvin Cook's going to go off. But against Detroit, there's going to be plenty of options on play action. Look for Justin Jefferson to be the X factor of this game. I think he goes off. I think he goes off for 90, 100 yards, and I think that will help the Vikings put up points. This is definitely going over. I got to say, this is a borderline money pick. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Indianapolis Colts, over under 47. And I have this going under because this isn't about Lamar Jackson, although he hasn't been in peak form yet. He hasn't been in peak rhythm yet. This is more about this Ravens defense against this Colts offense. defense. And I think this Ravens defense shows their prowess. I think this Ravens defense is better than it was last year. And I think that will show this game. And I don't know if this Indianapolis Colts offense is ready for prime time, is ready for contention, is ready to really take over games. So that's the matchup I'm watching. And even for future bets, future how it shakes out in the AFC, this is the matchup I'm watching. This Ravens defense against Phillip Rivers. Will they make him one-dimensional? Will they make him have to throw the ball? And what happens when you make Phillip one-dimensional? Turnovers. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars, over under 50. I got a surprise over here, and we got some turmoil at the Jaguars quarterback position, but I think the Jags will put up some decent points against the Texans, but I think the Texans explode here. I think this offense is ready to take off. I think they're going to run the rock. When the Texans run the rock, you know the Texans are going to play well. And the Jacksonville, they can't stop anyone's run attack. So I think Deshaun will take off in the second half. I believe this goes over. Next game, we got the Giants at the Washington football team, over under 43. Wow, this is a tough one. I went back and forth on it. I'm going under. I think this is an old school NFC East game. We're at November, 7th, 8th when this game takes place. I think we're going to see a November type game, and NFC East just a pure slugfest. And I think the Giants defense is going to have a great game. That's why I'm going under. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the LA Chargers, over under 51.5. Money, 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 money. This is the one we've been waiting for. You guys know I don't love betting over-unders. I'm not a big fan of it. I just do this to help you guys out. And you guys said I have helped you win a lot of money with over-unders. So that's why I do it. But this is one I am going to put on a parlay. I might even bet it outright. I think this goes over. I think both of these teams are focused. I think this is going to be a playoff-type atmosphere. This game is going to come down to the fourth quarter. And what happens when games come down to the fourth quarter? It pushes to over, especially when you got two quarterbacks. People like bashing Carr. People like poking fun at him, but he's playing better football this year. He's playing better winning football. This isn't the Carr that we saw last year against the Jets and Titans when he completely choked. This is a different Carr. And then you got Herbert on the other, and then what can we say? This young kid is slinging it. This young kid has confidence, and he has moxie, and I like some of these periphery options Herbert has to throw to. Raiders are going to get the run game going. Okay, and I've been telling you, this Raiders defense is underrated. I'm not forgetting that. But we have to look at this Chargers defense against this Raiders offense. This Chargers defense just hasn't been what was billed. I don't know if it's because Derwin James hasn't played. I don't know what. But this Chargers defense, it isn't what everyone thinks it is, and it wasn't what we thought it would be. That's one reason why we picked Denver to win and cover in an upset last week against them, not because of Herbert. So I think this turns into a shootout. I think this is like a 34-30 game, 27-24 minimum. So I think if you bet the over, you'll be pretty comfortable here. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Dallas Cowboys, over under 41.5. Dude, don't bet this. I'm going under because I don't think the Cowboys show up. I think the Cowboys might put up 10, 13 points. And I'm not seeing a lot of science with this Cowboys pick. I think this is one you should stay away from because we don't know if there's going to be a dance partner. In order to push for over in this league, you either need a blowout or you need two teams who are semi-competitive. I don't know what to expect from this Cowboys team, and I think betting on them is fool's errand. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Arizona Cardinals, over under 48.5. I'm going under here, and this is a surprise. And we can talk about Kyler Murray against this Miami defense. I am interested to watch this matchup. I think this Miami defense is scrappy and hungry, but I think the reason why this goes under is We need to look at Tua against this Arizona defense, and we need to look at this Rams film, and we need to just stop watching final scores. We need to actually analyze what happened in the game. We need to look at the game film. We need to look at football like adults. I could have my girlfriend from Brazil come in here, and she'll be like, oh, Dolphins look great against the Rams because the final score. No, that was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Tua had 98 passing yards. Tua did not look good. Tua is not as good as Ryan Fitzpatrick. This game will go under. I want you guys to bet over with you believing in Tua. I want you to because you'll lose money. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The over-under is 50.5. I have this going over, and I see a lot of people trending towards under, and I am left wondering why. This Tampa Bay defense, they do look good, but we have seen them. They can be exposed. They can be had, especially if you're able to block their front four. And I think the Saints will be able to do that. And Antonio Brown isn't the reason. I think he's going to add a little bit of spice. I think it is going to add a lot to this Tampa Bay offense, but with time. I don't think Antonio Brown's going to hit the ground running and put up 100 this week, although I think he's going to have a positive influence in the game plan. And another reason why I got this going over is because I'm looking at Mike Thomas, and he's finally coming back, although there's no guarantees with that. We've been hearing he's going to play for, the last 3 weeks. They have the bye week. He was supposed to play after the bye week. I'll believe it when Michael Thomas is on the field. But if Michael Thomas is on the field, I think this adds a big boost for the New Orleans offense. I have this going over, and I really like the over. I'm seeing it at 51 or 50.5. I really like this. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the New York Jets, over under 42. I'm going under here, and there isn't a lot of science. It's just I don't think the Jets can put up more than 10 or 13 points. They're going to need to get a lot of turnovers if they're going to put up more than that. And I think the Patriots are going to come in. This is going to be a business-like performance. They're going to run the rock a lot, and I just can't see a lot of points out of the Jets. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the videos, and make sure you're here Friday, 4:30 Eastern time for the live call-in show. If you can't be here, leave your question below. Subscribe, hit the like button. We're almost at 7K. Thank you.